Hello, everyone. The premiere season 3 episode of brea finally happened. It was a 2-episode event. Before I get into what happened on episode 3, give you a little quick recap of what happened on the end of season 2. Season 2, Gavin finds his parents, his father and mother, who he never knew because he used to live in 10,000 BC as a kid and went through one of the portals, and the president was adopted by a family, and they started having these visions as he's the airplane pilot, and he crashed his plane, so they thought that's why, because of head damage. But he was having visions of the tribes of people, saber-toothed tigers, like visions of what happened in 10,000 BC, right? Of like the scientists, the tower and stuff. So he started drinking as he thought he was seeing shit, but nope, there's a reason why. Anyways, season 2, Gavin meets his father and mother. They were members of the tribe that worked with the scientists that came through from the sinkhole, and set up camp there, and they started working with him, and then eventually they took over by killing the other scientists and taking over the project themselves. Well, Gavin's father got power hungry and all that, and every time he used the portal to take people back through time and that's what was causing sinkholes to happen around the world in the present time. Because remember, they're still stuck 10,000 years in the past. So Gavin and the survivors attacked the tower. Levi, pissed off at the woman he was sleeping with, Eve, Gavin's wife, has chosen Gavin over him. So he got pissed off, blew up the tower. Gavin's father, there's one portal left at a secret location. They go there. He said, the coordinates are set. You can go home to the present time. He said after the sinkholes happen, you just show up and that, live your normal lives and stuff. But Gavin finds out his father killed his wife slash Gavin's mother. So they have a fight. During the fight, the machine that powers up the portal gets damaged. So a whole shitload of portals open up, folks. They suck survivors through. Eve is one of the people that gets sucked through a different timeline portal. Then the machine blows up. All the portals close up. And season 2 ends with them walking out of the clearing. They find this girl. She's running. Her name's Petra. Scott don't even know who she is. And she says, come help me. They go find this camp of a settlement of all these survivors have been dead. They are not from the sinkhole. However, they're from a military base that's been there when the sinkhole first happened many years ago. So they're part of the scientist team of people that went down. Because think about it, scientists go down, they got military people go down, right? Because of trouble. So Petra shows this picture of this military base. Scott, the zoologist guy, recognizes the symbol. And that's the same place he was going to, he says, for a job interview of this company before he fell in the sinkhole. Then a T-Rex shows up and chases the survivors. Season 3 opens up. There's like a, I don't know how many month time jump. They never really specified. But they have fortified the camp to prevent dinosaurs from getting through like big wooden spikes. They got fires going on. And Gavin wants to find where Eve went. And like Sam, the doctor, Levi's like, dude, she could be anywhere. It's like she could be in the Viking timeline period. She could be in like the dinosaur period. She could be like, God knows, man. She could end up in like back in the day in the 1970s, the disco era, stuff like that. They were joking about it, trying to make him happy, right? Feel better. Gavin then has a vision of a day where him, his family, Eve, his wife, Joss, their son, Izzy, the daughter, and Levi will all have a dinner. That's when Gavin was an alcoholic because of the visions. He didn't know why he was having them. And this woman knocks on the door. And she says, I know why you're having visions now. Come with me. We can work this out. But he doesn't like the fact that she's there. And then she says, how much have you drank today? So he tells her to get the hell off the porch. And she takes off. So Gavin wants to know why he's having this vision. Then he sees the picture Petra has. And her mother is the woman that showed up at the door that day. So he asks Petra, who is she? She says, that's my mom. Her name is Maya Smith. We don't work at the military base. We were just there to help out. We're not soldiers. So Gavin asks her, can you show us where the military base is? Thinking maybe there's a way to save his wife or something, right? Because he said, think, but maybe they got a portal we don't know about that's still active. We can go home that way or something. So, as they're talking, dinosaurs attack the camp, folks. Big big fight happens. Dinosaurs attacking each other, and all the survivors take off. During the melee, a raptor seriously injures Riley. Sam patches her up. They go to regroup at Ty and his wife. I forget her name. I think her name is Ruth or Pablo. She's a leader of a tribe of people in 10,000 BC. And Ty fell in love with her, so they welcome them to stay there to regroup for the dinosaur attack of the camp. Sam does the best he can, but Riley's dying because the severest wound the raptor gave her. And Sam kind of blames Josh, Gavin's son, because Josh and Riley, who's Sam's daughter, are in a relationship. And Riley says, she pushed me out of the way to attack the raptor. And Sam says, you should have been the one to fight the raptor, not her. So that leads to a little scruffle, and Gavin breaks it up. So, Gavin, Scott, Levi, and Petra leave to go find this military base, so maybe they can find help for Sam's daughter, Riley, too. They stay at the fortress. And along as they're tracking for the jungle and all that, they separate to try to find out where this military base is. Suddenly, Levi and Petra get knocked down. They're like, something hits the necks, and it's like a tranquilizer dart. And these soldiers show up, and then Scott, Ty was with this group too. Scott and Gavin show up and see this helicopter fly off. And Ty shows up, and they search throughout the area, and they realize Petra and Levi got captured by the soldiers. They're on that chopper. Ty says, well, before we go, you guys gotta find what I found. See what I found. He found 2 portals. One's blue, which has never been shown in the season before, and one's orangish reddish, and they're intermixed. And they're going like this in a circle. So, Scott and Gavin's like, what's the blue one? And Gavin's like, maybe the blue one, instead of taking us in the past, takes us like to the future or the present or something. Suddenly, this is the part that confused me. Suddenly, Sam and Josh show up with the injured Riley. And Sam says, Scott radioing in on me, told me he found the portal. Ty found the portal, not Scott. So that part was a little bit confusing. I think they messed up there. Josh, wanting to save his girlfriend's life, jumps through the red portal. No hesitation whatsoever. He just jumps through it, and that closes up. But as that closes up, Ty X-Day gets sucked through the blue portal. The survivors go back to the fort to explain what happened, that they lost Ty, Josh and Riley through portals. And Lucas, the new tribe leader, by the way, of the camp, of their group of survivors, Judith, the guy that wears glasses all throughout the past 2 seasons that drinks wine, he starts having issues that Lucas is the leader of the camp of survivors. Then, Veronica announces she's pregnant. So, I'm like, okay. So, I don't know how many months she's been pregnant, but that's because of the time gap. And if you remember Veronica, she had a sister that you kind of find out her sister's dad kidnapped Veronica when she was a kid and raised her as one of his own. Veronica's so-called sister died when Locust attacked in season 2. And there's only one antidote to save one of them, and she saved Veronica's life. Well, season 1, part 1 ends with Ty waking up, almost getting run over by a car. This guy gets out of the car, he's like, dude, what the hell are you asleep in the middle of the road for? Ty's like, where am I? Because he's all like, shocked where he's at. He says, dude, you're in Los Angeles. And Ty says, what time? What day? What year is it? He says it's 2021, and it says the date. Ty realizes that the blue portal does take you back, but not in time. It takes you a few weeks back before the sinkhole happens in Los Angeles, so he's back home. So technically, the blue portal gets you the hell out and into the right timeline. Now, part 2 of season 3 premiere. It opens up with the survivors at the fort of Ty's wife. They're not getting along, right? Because they live a certain way. The other group lives a certain way. Lucas is just trying his best to keep his people because he's a leader alive at the fort for now. And of course, Judith, the guy that drinks wine a lot, starts causing trouble and stuff. So Lucas has to deal with him. But Veronica says, I'll take care of him. They get him under control, basically. Sam is heartbroken because Josh jumped for that portal Riley. They don't know what time period they ended up with. He wants to go back to where that portal was, hoping maybe it reopens. He'll jump through it and find them. And Gavin's like, how do you know it'll be the same portal in the same timeline? We don't know. So Sam goes to leave, and the leader of this group of people, her name is Ruth, of the tribe of people. She say nobody's leaving. Sam wants to leave and gets in a fight with the guard at the door. Gavin helps Sam. He gets in this big brawl. So Ruth imprisons Sam and Gavin in a tent and locks them up. As they're in the tent, they're talking. Gavin eventually convinces Sam not to go to the portal. Instead, help me find this military base. We can get answers there. Because he tells us about this woman he knows named Maya Smith. Suddenly, a body's found. Sam, because he's a doctor, is allowed to look at the body, and he determines that due to the broken bones and the way the body's positioned, he fell out of the sky. And they say, well, that's impossible. Aerodactyls show up, and they attack the fort. People are scattered throughout, and then the Aerodactyls leave. They killed one member of the tribe of people, and that was it. Scott sees these spiral shapes throughout outside in the clearing and realizes he remembers that from reading the research book about dinosaurs that Aerodactyls make those to nest the eggs to take over the area as their home. So Scott says if we take an egg out of one of these nests and move it away and make a makeshift nest, the Aerodactyls will go there thinking that this area is not safe. So Sam... Lucas. They split up in groups here. I'm trying to think. It's Lucas, Jordan, and Veronica. They go to make the makeshift nest while Scott, Gavin, and Lucas go and take an egg for the Aerodactyl's nest and go take it to where the other group is. Along the way, the Aerodactyls attack them because they got the egg, and they find shelter in the clearing inside of a damaged helicopter. Gavin, Lucas, and Scott shoot off some flares, which scare away the Aerodactyls. They get to where the other group's at. They put the egg there in the nest, and then they hide. And the Aerodactyls realize the other area is not safe. This area is fine. It's far miles away from the tribe and settlement. So they go back, and the tribe people don't eat with them, don't even celebrate with them. And Lucas feels kind of bad, and he gets in their confrontation with Ruth, the leader of the tribe, saying, hey, we helped save your people, and that you locked two of our guys up. How come you don't like us? And Ruth's like, our leader, which is Ty's wife, may let you stay here, but while she's gone, I'm in charge, and we don't like you. But you did save us from the Aerodactyls, getting them away from our camp. You do very good yard work, so maybe we can get along if you obey my commands. Lucas said, well, how about since I'm a leader, you're a leader, we can coexist. And they start talking around a campfire about that. Gavin convinces Sam, by the way, to stay with them. They're going to go investigate where this military base could be. Gavin wrote down the helicopter number. And he said, well, we must be getting close because the chopper was there. We must be getting close to where this military base is. Plus, they got Petra and Levar. And maybe a portal to get home. Then it shows Ty. Ty, now that he's back above the sinkhole in present time Los Angeles a few weeks before the sinkhole, he's just living life. He's drinking beers. He's eating things. He ate the whole menu out of the restaurant had. She said, you must be hungry. He says, well, for a change, I didn't have to catch food. And he says, it's been a long time since I've had some beer. So the waitress is like, Yeah, I'm gonna cut you off right now. She thinks he's getting drunk, right? So Ty goes to visit Sam, who at this timeline is still a doctor at the hospital because the sinkhole hasn't happened yet, right? So Ty introduces himself. He says, "You don't know me, but eventually we become good friends and stuff." And Sam's like, "Who are you?" And Ty's like, "Well, a sinkhole happened. It's going to happen. We're going to get sucked down into 10,000 BC." Sam says, "Man, you drunk or something?" And Ty says, "No." So Ty writes down the list of stuff that happens in a couple days. He says, "That stuff will happen. Meet me at this location, at this bar, when it does." So later on, Sam meets Ty at the bar, and Sam says, "How did you know this president got assassinated? How did you know this team was going to win the Super Bowl?" Stuff like that. "How did you know that this guy was going to win the lottery ticket?" And Ty tells him, like, "Because I'm technically from the past, but I'm back at the present to help you guys not go to the past." And Ty says, "I'm not buying it." And Gavin says, "Well, I know you're going to get divorced, and your daughter dropped out mid-school, by the way, and you don't know that." Sam goes, comes back, realizes Ty again told the truth. So Sam says, "Okay, I believe you now. It's crazy, but I believe you." Ty says, "Okay, so I want to stop the sinkhole from happening." So what Ty's plan is, in the present time, a few weeks before the sinkhole happens and the survivors get sucked down into it and into the past, is if he stops them from being where the sinkhole's at, they'll be safe, and they can live their lives normally and that, even though it affect the timeline. So they go, and Ty says, "I know someone that can help us, but at this period, he's kind of alcoholic. And he drinks a lot. It's Gavin." And Gavin gets let out of a prison cell. Apparently, he got arrested for drinking. He comes out, he says, "Who bailed me out this time?" And it's Ty and Sam. Ty says, "We don't know each other, but we're good friends." And Gavin's like, "Well, you did let me out of jail." He says, "So at least I could do is we can talk." And that's how the episode ends. That was pretty funny. Seeing like this Gavin version of him drinking to the Gavin that we know now. Also, I forgot to mention, Izzy, upset that now her mom's gone, her brother's gone, sucked into different timelines. She wants to take care of herself more, so she's trying to learn how to use a bow and arrow. From Ruth, the tribe leader, that since Ty's wife's gone, her daughter is a master bow and arrow specialist, so she's teaching Izzy how to use a bow and arrow. Yeah, that happened as well. I like the season 3 premiere. I didn't like that they messed up now when Scott radioed in about the portals when Ty's the one that found them, not Scott. I did find that was a mess up there. I don't like this time jump because I don't know how many months it's been, right? And all this. And I am curious, where the hell did Riley and Joss end up? What time period did they end up in? Let me know below in the comments below if you're watching Ellie Breeze I am. Where do you think Josh and Riley ended up? Do you think they somehow ended up in the same timeline that Eve ended up in? Or they in a completely different timeline? Or what timeline do you think they ended up in? And also, who do you think is going to find the military base first? Is it going to be Gavin and the team? Or somebody else find it? And where is Levi and Petra? We saw him take off in the helicopter, but the question is that the same chopper that they found damaged later on miles away? If it is, then poor Levi and Petra's out there in the clearing alone, trying to survive against dinosaurs and God knows what else, because a lot of shit came for the portals. I'd love to see an episode, honestly, with Vikings. Show me some Vikings. I'd like to see some Vikings show up in this timeline. That'd be awesome. Stay safe, everybody. Too sweet. Bye.